If you look younger than your age, it is not merely a matter of genetics, skincare, or coincidence, and it is not something time has decided randomly. According to the wisdom of Ibn Arabi, the outer form is a reflection of the inner state, and the way time moves through the body is deeply connected to awareness, balance, and the condition of the soul. Some people carry less inner resistance, less unresolved tension, and more presence, and because of this, life flows through them differently. What you are about to hear explores why some people seem untouched by time, how inner harmony slows inner decay, and why youthfulness is often a sign of something deeper working quietly within long before it ever becomes visible on the outside. Time moves through the body the same way awareness moves through the soul, because the body is not separate from inner experience, but shaped by it continuously. Awareness acts like a current flowing through life, and the quality of that flow determines how life is expressed physically. When awareness is rushed, fragmented, or tense, the body absorbs that strain over time. The nervous system remains on alert, muscles tighten, and energy drains faster. This constant inner pressure quietly leaves its imprint. Aging, in this sense, is not only biological but experiential. When awareness is calm, the body exists in a state of cooperation rather than resistance. Calm awareness signals safety to the body, allowing systems to repair and regenerate naturally. Breath deepens, tension releases, and the body conserves energy instead of wasting it on constant defense. This inner calm is not passivity but balance. In such a state, time does not feel like an enemy. It moves gently, without carving itself harshly into the form. Open awareness allows experience to pass through without being trapped. Emotions arise and dissolve instead of being suppressed or clung to. Thoughts move freely without dominating the inner space. This openness prevents the build-up of inner weight that often hardens into physical fatigue. When awareness is open, life flows rather than stagnates. Stagnation accelerates decay, while flow preserves vitality. Presence anchors awareness in the now, where the body actually lives. The body does not exist in memories or worries, but in immediate sensation. When awareness is constantly pulled into the past or future, the body is dragged along unnecessarily. Stress hormones rise, rest becomes shallow, and repair is interrupted. Presence returns awareness to where the body can function optimally. In this alignment, time feels less damaging. A present awareness meets life directly rather than through interpretation. This reduces the mental friction that exhausts the system. The body responds to reality as it is, not to imagined threats or regrets. Reduced mental friction means reduced physical wear. Over years, this difference becomes visible. Lines deepen slower, energy remains steadier, and the body retains softness rather than rigidity. When awareness is scattered, energy leaks in many directions. Attention jumps from worry to desire to comparison, never settling long enough to replenish. The body mirrors this instability through fatigue and tension. Scattered awareness accelerates exhaustion. Calm awareness gathers energy instead of dispersing it. What is gathered is preserved. The soul experiences time differently depending on awareness. In moments of deep presence, time feels expansive and gentle. In moments of anxiety, time feels sharp and compressing. The body records these experiences silently. Years lived in stress feel heavier than years lived in presence. Thus, aging is not merely counted in years, but in the quality of lived moments. When awareness remains open, resistance decreases. Resistance creates inner friction, and friction generates heat that wears systems down. Emotional resistance often manifests as chronic tension in the body. Calm awareness allows acceptance, which softens this friction. Softness in awareness translates into softness in form, Time respects what does not resist it. A calm inner state also improves the body's relationship with rest. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Recovery happens fully rather than partially. The body repairs itself efficiently when awareness is not cluttered by unresolved mental noise. Over time, this consistent restoration preserves youthfulness. Time leaves lighter traces where repair is honored. Awareness that is present allows joy to arise naturally. Joy is not excitement, but a subtle sense of aliveness. This aliveness nourishes the body at a cellular level. Chronic joylessness, on the other hand, dulls vitality. When awareness remains calm and open, joy flows without effort. Vitality follows joy. The soul that remains present does not accumulate unnecessary burdens. Regrets are acknowledged and released. Fears are observed rather than obeyed. This emotional cleanliness prevents inner heaviness. Heaviness ages the body faster than movement does. Lightness in awareness expresses itself as lightness in being. Calm awareness also shapes posture, movement, and expression. The body moves with ease rather than tension. Facial muscles soften, gestures become fluid, and the overall presence feels relaxed. These subtle expressions influence how age appears. The body tells the story of how awareness has lived within it. When awareness is open, curiosity remains alive. Curiosity keeps perception fresh and flexible. A curious mind resists stagnation, and a flexible mind supports a flexible body. Rigidity accelerates aging. Openness delays it. The body reflects the mind's willingness to meet life without closing. Presence allows acceptance of change without inner collapse. Aging itself becomes less stressful when awareness does not fight it. Ironically, acceptance reduces the visible impact of aging. Resistance amplifies what it opposes. Calm awareness lets time move without hostility. Time responds with gentleness. Time does not simply pass over the body, it passes through awareness first. The body is the canvas on which awareness leaves its marks. When awareness is calm, open, and present, those marks are lighter and fewer. Youthfulness then is not denial of time, but harmony with it. Time moves, but it does not wound. Unresolved inner tension accelerates aging because the body continuously responds to what the mind refuses to release. Emotional strain does not remain abstract or invisible. It settles into muscles, breath, posture, and nervous system patterns. When tension is held inwardly, the body stays in a state of quiet defense. This defense consumes energy that would otherwise be used for repair and renewal. Over time, this constant holding becomes a burden the body carries daily. Aging then becomes a process of accumulated strain rather than the passage of years. Emotions that are suppressed do not disappear, they compress. Fear that is not acknowledged tightens the chest and shortens the breath. Anger that is not expressed hardens the jaw, shoulders, and spine. Grief that is not allowed sinks into heaviness and fatigue. These emotional contractions reduce circulation and flexibility. The body slowly adapts to this tension as its normal state. What was once emotional becomes physical. When tension becomes habitual, the body forgets how to rest fully. Even in moments of stillness, there is an underlying tightness. Sleep becomes shallow, recovery incomplete, and vitality slowly drains. The body remains alert even when there is no real danger. This constant alertness accelerates wear on internal systems. Aging appears faster because repair is always delayed. Rest without release cannot truly heal. Inner ease, on the other hand, allows emotions to move rather than settle. When feelings are acknowledged without resistance, they pass through naturally. The body returns to balance instead of storing tension. Muscles soften, breath deepens, and circulation improves. Ease is not avoidance, but openness. In openness, the body remains adaptable rather than rigid. Fluidity in the body reflects fluidity in the inner world. When thoughts and emotions are allowed to come and go, the body mirrors that movement. Joints stay flexible, movements remain light, and posture stays relaxed. Physical stiffness often mirrors mental rigidity. Inner ease prevents this rigidity from taking hold. Youthfulness is preserved through flexibility rather than force. Many people mistake endurance for strength, holding emotional weight silently for years. This silent endurance slowly exhausts the body. The appearance of strength hides inner depletion. True resilience comes from release, not suppression. Inner ease restores strength instead of draining it. The body thrives when it is allowed to respond naturally. Tension also alters facial expression over time. Habitual worry, frustration, or defensiveness imprints itself subtly on the face. Muscles that remain contracted shape features gradually. Inner ease softens expression and relaxes these patterns. The face then reflects openness rather than strain. This is why some faces appear younger, regardless of age. The nervous system plays a central role in how tension affects aging. Chronic stress keeps the nervous system in survival mode. This mode prioritizes immediate response over long-term health. Digestion, immunity, and cellular repair are compromised. Inner ease signals safety, allowing the nervous system to shift into restoration. Aging slows when restoration becomes the dominant state. Unresolved tension also affects movement. The body moves cautiously when carrying emotional weight. Steps become heavier, gestures restrained, and posture defensive. Over time, this restricts range of motion. Inner ease restores confidence in movement. Movement becomes expressive rather than guarded. Vitality shows itself through ease of motion. Emotional honesty is essential for preventing inner tension. When you allow yourself to feel without judgment, tension has no reason to stay. Avoidance traps energy, while awareness releases it. The body responds immediately to this release. Even small moments of honesty reduce strain. Ease accumulates quietly through these moments. The body is remarkably responsive to changes in inner state. A single moment of deep relaxation can undo hours of tension. When inner ease becomes consistent, the body begins to trust again. Trust allows systems to function optimally. Healing accelerates and aging slows. The body remembers how to be alive. Inner tension often comes from resistance to life as it is. Fighting reality internally creates friction. This friction consumes vitality. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but reducing unnecessary struggle. Inner ease emerges when resistance softens. The body benefits immediately from this reduction in friction. Fluidity is not weakness, it is adaptability. A fluid body responds to change without breaking. Inner ease supports this adaptability. When tension dominates, the body becomes brittle. Brittleness leads to injury, fatigue, and accelerated aging. Ease maintains resilience through softness. As inner ease grows, energy previously trapped in tension becomes available. This energy supports creativity, curiosity, and joy. Joy nourishes the body deeply. It signals abundance rather than scarcity. A body nourished by joy resists decay more effectively. Aging loses its harshness. Over time, the contrast becomes visible. Those who carry unresolved tension age, not because time is cruel, but because the body has been overworked internally. Those who cultivate inner ease age differently. Their bodies remain expressive, responsive, and alive. Ease becomes visible as lightness. Unresolved inner tension accelerates aging because the body cannot remain fluid under constant pressure. What is held emotionally hardens physically through repetition and habit. Inner ease restores flow, softness, and adaptability. The body remains alive rather than armored. Aging then becomes a gentle process rather than a heavy one. Youthfulness reflects inner harmony more than external care because the body responds most deeply to the state in which it is lived. Creams, routines, and treatments may support the surface, but they cannot override an inner life filled with tension and conflict. When the inner state is peaceful, the body is not constantly bracing against imagined threats. Energy is conserved rather than drained. This conservation allows natural repair to occur. Over time, this difference becomes visible. Youthfulness emerges as a byproduct of inner balance. Inner harmony means the absence of constant inner resistance. Many people fight their thoughts, emotions, and circumstances endlessly. This internal battle consumes enormous energy. The body mirrors this struggle through fatigue, tightness, and premature aging. A peaceful inner state ends this war. When resistance softens, the body no longer needs to armor itself. Softness replaces hardness, and vitality has room to return. Fear is one of the greatest accelerators of aging. Fear keeps the nervous system in a prolonged state of alert. Even when nothing is wrong, the body behaves as if danger is near. This chronic stress disrupts sleep, digestion, and cellular repair. Inner harmony calms this constant vigilance. When fear loosens, the body shifts into restoration. Youthfulness thrives in safety, not survival. Mental struggle also leaves its mark over time. Constant overthinking tightens facial muscles, shortens breath, and exhausts the nervous system. The face begins to carry the weight of unresolved thought. A peaceful mind relaxes these patterns. Expression softens naturally. The body reflects the ease of a mind that no longer needs to control everything. External care often treats symptoms rather than causes. It addresses what appears on the surface without touching what generates it. Inner harmony works from the source outward. When the source is calm, the surface follows. This is why some people appear youthful with minimal effort. Their inner state supports them quietly. Care becomes supportive rather than compensatory. Harmony does not mean the absence of challenges, but the absence of constant inner conflict with them. Life still brings difficulty, but it is met with steadiness rather than resistance. This steadiness prevents emotional overload. The body does not have to process constant shock. Aging slows when shocks are reduced. Calm response preserves vitality. When inner harmony is present, the body moves differently. Movements are fluid rather than rigid. Posture is open rather than defensive. Breathing is deep rather than shallow. These physical qualities influence how age appears. The body tells the story of how it has been lived internally. Ease leaves a lighter imprint than struggle. Peaceful inner states also support healthy rhythms. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Appetite regulates naturally. Energy flows consistently rather than in spikes and crashes. These rhythms are essential for long-term vitality. External care cannot replace disrupted rhythms. Inner harmony restores them from within. Joy plays a subtle but powerful role in youthfulness. Genuine joy arises naturally from inner harmony. It is not forced or dependent on circumstances. Joy signals abundance to the body. It relaxes systems and encourages renewal. A joyful inner state keeps the body responsive and alive. Youthfulness follows joy quietly. Inner harmony reduces comparison and self-judgment. Constant comparison creates dissatisfaction and tension. This tension is carried physically through posture and expression. When comparison fades, the body relaxes. Acceptance replaces self-criticism. This acceptance allows natural aging without harshness. The body feels allowed to be. Resistance to change accelerates aging. Fighting what cannot be controlled creates inner strain. Inner harmony includes acceptance of change without collapse. This acceptance reduces emotional friction. Less friction means less wear. Aging becomes a transition rather than a threat. The body adapts instead of resisting. Mental struggle often stems from the need to prove or protect identity. This constant effort is exhausting. Inner harmony loosens identification with rigid roles. The self becomes more flexible. Flexibility supports resilience. A resilient body ages differently than a brittle one. Harmony preserves adaptability. When the inner world is peaceful, attention rests more often in the present. Presence reduces anxiety about the future and regret about the past. The body benefits from living where it actually exists. Stress hormones decrease, repair hormones increase. Youthfulness is supported biologically through presence. External care becomes truly effective only when inner harmony exists. When the body is already relaxed and receptive, support works better. When the body is tense and defensive, even the best care struggles to help. Inner harmony prepares the ground. External care then enhances rather than compensates. Over time, inner harmony reshapes expression. The eyes appear clearer, the face softer, the body more at ease. These qualities are difficult to imitate artificially. They arise naturally from a life lived without constant inner struggle. Youthfulness becomes an expression of being rather than appearance. Youthfulness is not the denial of age, but the absence of inner war. A peaceful inner state reduces the wear created by fear, resistance, and mental struggle. The body is allowed to live rather than endure. Inner harmony preserves vitality quietly and steadily. This is why true youthfulness begins within and is only reflected outwardly. Those who age slowly often live closer to the present moment because the body can only exist where awareness truly rests. The present is the only place where the body feels safe and complete. When attention is constantly pulled into memories or worries, the body is forced to respond to things that are not actually happening. This creates unnecessary strain. Living in the present allows the body to respond only to what is real. This simplicity preserves energy and vitality over time. Regret about the past keeps the mind anchored to what cannot be changed. Each revisit reactivates old emotions as if they are happening again. The body does not distinguish between memory and reality. It tightens, contracts, and prepares for impact. Over years, this repeated activation becomes wear. Presence breaks this cycle by returning attention to now. The body relaxes when it no longer has to relive what is over. Anxiety about the future pulls energy forward endlessly. The mind imagines scenarios, outcomes, and threats that may never arrive. The body responds with elevated stress hormones, shallow breathing, and tension. This future-focused state keeps the system in survival mode. Presence gently interrupts this pattern. When attention settles into the moment, the body realizes there is nothing to fight. Repair and balance resume. Living close to the present does not mean ignoring the past or future. It means not being trapped by them. Those who age slowly can reflect without dwelling and plan without panicking. Their attention returns naturally to what is happening now. This flexibility prevents emotional overload. The body benefits from this balanced relationship with time. Aging slows when inner time pressure is reduced. Presence protects the nervous system from chronic overactivation. A nervous system that is constantly stimulated ages faster. It struggles to switch into rest and repair. Present moment awareness signals safety repeatedly throughout the day. These signals accumulate. Over time, the body spends more moments in restoration than defense. Youthfulness thrives in this rhythm. When awareness rests in the present, Breathing deepens naturally. Deep breathing oxygenates the body more fully. Muscles soften, circulation improves, and tension releases. These physical effects are subtle but powerful when repeated daily. Over years, they shape how the body ages. Presence supports these restorative processes without effort. The body responds gratefully. Those who live in the present also recover faster from stress. Stress still occurs, but it does not linger. Once a moment passes, it is allowed to end. The body is not forced to carry stress forward. This ability to let go prevents accumulation. Aging accelerates when stress piles up. Presence clears stress before it settles. The present moment anchors awareness in sensation rather than thought. Sensation grounds the body in reality. When attention returns to feeling rather than thinking, the body feels acknowledged. This acknowledgement reduces inner conflict. The body does not need to shout through discomfort to be noticed. Aging slows when communication between awareness and body is clear. Regret and anxiety both fragment attention. Fragmented attention drains energy quickly. Presence gathers attention into wholeness. This wholeness conserves energy. Conserved energy supports cellular repair, immune function, and hormonal balance. These systems determine how gracefully the body ages. Presence nourishes them indirectly but consistently. Living in the present also supports emotional balance. Emotions are felt fully and released rather than suppressed or prolonged. This emotional honesty prevents internal buildup. Suppressed emotions often manifest physically over time. Presence allows emotions to complete their cycle. The body remains lighter and more flexible as a result. Those who age slowly often have a relaxed relationship with time itself. They are not constantly racing or falling behind. This reduces inner pressure. Pressure accelerates aging by keeping the body tense. A relaxed sense of time allows movements to be fluid and posture to remain open. The body reflects this ease visibly. Presence also enhances enjoyment of ordinary moments. Enjoyment nourishes the nervous system. Pleasure signals abundance and safety to the body. A body that regularly experiences ease and enjoyment resists decay more effectively. Aging is gentler when life feels lived rather than endured. Presence makes this possible. When awareness stays close to now, sleep quality improves. The mind settles more easily at night. Deep sleep supports repair at every level. Chronic worry disrupts this repair. Presence during the day reduces mental residue at night. Over years, this difference shapes vitality and appearance. The present moment also reduces the need for constant control. Letting go of control reduces mental strain. Mental strain often expresses itself physically through tension. Presence allows trust to replace control. Trust relaxes the system deeply. A relaxed system ages differently than a guarded one. Those who age slowly are not resisting time, but meeting it where it exists. Time exists only in the present. By living there, the body is protected from the exhausting pull of regret and anxiety. Energy is preserved, repair is supported, and vitality remains accessible. Presence becomes a quiet guardian of youthfulness. The ego's constant conflict with life drains vitality because it is always resisting what is. It argues with reality, compares itself to others, and demands that circumstances be different. This inner resistance creates continuous tension. The body feels this tension as pressure, tightness, and fatigue. Energy that could support healing and renewal is redirected toward defense. Over time, this silent struggle exhausts the system. Aging accelerates not from years, but from constant inner opposition. The ego survives by maintaining a sense of separation and control. It needs something to fight, fix, or prove. Even in calm situations, it searches for problems. This keeps the mind restless and the body alert. A body that is always alert cannot rest deeply. Without deep rest, vitality slowly fades. The conflict never truly resolves because the ego depends on it. Energy leaks through endless inner battles. Inner conflict often appears as judgment toward oneself and others. Criticism tightens the body subtly but continuously. Muscles contract, breath shortens, and posture hardens. These physical responses consume energy unconsciously. When judgment becomes habitual, the body adapts to strain as normal. This adaptation reduces flexibility and softness. Vitality diminishes as rigidity increases. Resistance to life also appears as emotional denial. The ego rejects discomfort instead of allowing it to pass. Emotions are pushed down or argued with. This creates emotional backlog. The body stores what the mind avoids. Stored emotion weighs on the nervous system. Carrying this weight daily drains life force. Acceptance is not surrender to weakness, but alignment with reality. When acceptance replaces resistance, the body no longer needs to brace itself. Muscles relax naturally. Breath deepens without effort. Energy that was spent fighting becomes available again. This restored energy supports clarity, movement, and renewal. Vitality returns quietly. Trust plays a vital role in preserving energy. Trust reduces the need for constant control. Control is exhausting because it requires continuous monitoring and correction. Trust allows the system to settle. When trust is present, the body feels supported by life rather than threatened by it. This feeling of support restores balance. Vitality thrives where trust exists. The ego fears acceptance because it equates it with defeat. In truth, acceptance ends unnecessary struggle. Struggle consumes energy without producing growth. Acceptance allows growth to happen organically. The body responds immediately to this shift. Tension softens and energy stabilizes. What once felt heavy becomes manageable. Inner battles often replay the same arguments repeatedly. The mind revisits old conflicts and imagined futures. Each replay activates stress responses. The body responds as if the conflict is happening again. This repeated activation wears down resilience. Acceptance breaks this loop by allowing moments to end. Energy is no longer trapped in repetition. When acceptance becomes a habit, reactions slow down. You respond instead of reacting. This pause saves enormous energy. Reaction is immediate and draining. Response is measured and efficient. Over time, this efficiency preserves vitality. The body benefits from fewer spikes of stress. Aging slows when stress cycles are reduced. Trust also allows uncertainty to exist without panic. The ego struggles with uncertainty and tries to eliminate it. This struggle creates anxiety. Anxiety accelerates aging by keeping the body in survival mode. Trust allows uncertainty to be present without collapse. The nervous system relaxes. Energy is conserved rather than burned. Acceptance changes how challenges are experienced. Challenges remain, but they are not multiplied by resistance. One difficulty is no longer turned into many through inner argument. The body deals with what is required, not imagined additions. This simplicity preserves strength. Vitality is maintained through efficiency. When inner conflict decreases, joy arises more easily. Joy is not forced, but allowed. Joy nourishes the body deeply. It signals abundance and safety. A body that regularly experiences joy resists exhaustion. Acceptance creates space for joy to appear naturally. Vitality follows joy. The ego's conflict often stems from fear of losing identity. Letting go feels threatening, yet holding on drains energy continuously. Acceptance loosens rigid identity structures. The self becomes more flexible. Flexibility supports resilience. A resilient body ages differently than a defended one. Trust also improves recovery after stress. Stressful events still happen, but they pass through instead of lingering. The body returns to baseline more quickly. This faster recovery preserves long-term vitality. Chronic stress ages faster than acute stress. Acceptance shortens stress duration. As acceptance deepens, the need to fight life diminishes. Life is no longer seen as an enemy. This shift transforms inner experience. Energy flows instead of stagnating. The body reflects this flow through ease and aliveness. Vitality becomes sustainable rather than forced. The ego's constant conflict with life drains vitality by turning living into a struggle. Acceptance and trust end unnecessary inner wars. Energy once consumed by resistance is freed for living. The body becomes lighter, calmer, and more alive. Aging softens when life is met without battle. Joy, curiosity, and wonder keep the inner world flexible because they prevent the mind and emotions from becoming rigid and closed. When these qualities are alive, experience is met with openness rather than judgment. The inner world remains responsive instead of defensive. This responsiveness allows emotions to move freely instead of settling into fixed patterns. The body mirrors this inner flexibility through relaxed movement and ease. Over time, this ease becomes visible. Youthfulness begins as an inner state long before it shows outwardly. Joy is not constant excitement, but a quiet sense of aliveness. It arises when the inner world is not burdened by excessive resistance. Joy softens the nervous system and signals safety to the body. In this state, muscles relax and breath deepens naturally. Repair processes function more efficiently. The body thrives when joy is present regularly. Freshness appears where strain is absent. Curiosity keeps perception open and prevents stagnation. A curious inner world does not assume it already knows everything. It meets life as something alive and unfolding. This attitude keeps the mind supple and adaptable. Adaptability prevents rigidity, both mentally and physically. A flexible mind supports a flexible body. Aging slows when curiosity replaces certainty. Wonder dissolves the heaviness created by over-familiarity. When wonder is present, even ordinary moments feel new. This sense of newness refreshes perception. The inner world does not collapse into boredom or dull routine. Wonder brings lightness to awareness. Lightness reduces inner weight. The body responds by moving and expressing itself with ease. An inner world without joy often becomes serious and tense. Excess seriousness hardens perception. The body mirrors this seriousness through stiffness and fatigue. Joy interrupts this pattern gently. It loosens tight mental structures. When the mind loosens, the body follows. Youthful expression returns naturally. Curiosity also reduces fear of the unknown. Instead of seeing uncertainty as a threat, curiosity sees it as an invitation. This shift calms the nervous system. Fear accelerates aging by keeping the body in constant alert. Curiosity relaxes alertness without removing awareness. The body benefits from this calm engagement with life. Wonder keeps the inner world connected to beauty. Beauty does not have to be grand to be effective. Small moments of appreciation nourish awareness deeply. This nourishment supports emotional balance. Balanced emotions reduce inner friction. Less friction means less wear on the body. Freshness arises from this gentle appreciation. Joy prevents emotional accumulation. When joy is allowed, emotions flow more freely. They do not pile up as unresolved weight. Emotional weight often expresses itself physically over time. Light emotions keep the body light. The absence of heaviness preserves vitality. Youthfulness reflects this emotional clarity. Curiosity also keeps identity flexible. A curious person is not trapped in rigid self-images. Identity remains open to growth and change. Rigid identity requires constant defense. Defense consumes energy. Flexible identity conserves it. Conserved energy supports long-term vitality. Wonder softens the relationship with time. When wonder is present, time feels less oppressive. Moments are savored rather than rushed. This reduces the pressure time places on the body. Pressure accelerates aging. Ease allows time to pass without conflict. The body reflects this ease. An inner world rich with joy responds better to stress. Stress still occurs, but recovery is faster. Joy creates resilience. Resilience prevents stress from becoming chronic. Chronic stress ages the body rapidly. Quick recovery preserves freshness. Youthfulness is supported through emotional resilience. Curiosity keeps learning alive throughout life. Learning stimulates the mind without straining it. A stimulated but relaxed mind supports healthy brain function. Mental vitality influences physical vitality. When learning is joyful rather than forced, it nourishes rather than exhausts. This nourishment shows outwardly. Wonder reconnects awareness with immediacy. It draws attention into the present moment effortlessly. Presence calms the body and supports repair. Repair maintains vitality. A body that repairs well retains youthfulness longer. Wonder sustains presence naturally. Without joy, curiosity, and wonder, the inner world becomes narrow. Narrow awareness leads to rigid behavior. Rigidity accelerates aging by limiting adaptability. Flexibility allows adjustment without strain. The body ages differently when adjustment is easy. Ease replaces effort. These qualities are not luxuries, but necessities for inner health. They are not childish, but deeply wise. They keep awareness light and responsive. Light awareness creates light expression. The body reflects what awareness carries. Youthfulness emerges as a natural consequence. Joy, curiosity, and wonder protect the inner world from becoming heavy and fixed. This inner flexibility expresses itself outwardly as freshness and lightness. The body reflects the freedom of the inner state. Youthful appearance is not forced, but revealed. It is the visible echo of an inner world still alive. True youth is not the absence of years, but the absence of inner heaviness, because time itself is not what exhausts the body. What truly wears a person down is the emotional and psychological weight carried day after day. When the inner world is burdened by regret, resentment, fear, and unexpressed pain, the body becomes the container for that weight. Muscles tighten, posture collapses, and energy diminishes. Aging then feels harsh and accelerated. Youth fades not because of time, but because of what time has been forced to carry. Inner heaviness often develops quietly and gradually. It forms through unresolved experiences that were never fully processed or released. Each unspoken emotion adds a small layer of tension. Over years, these layers accumulate into a constant background weight. The body adapts by bracing itself. This bracing consumes vitality. The more weight the soul carries, the more the body must compensate. When the soul remains light, experience flows rather than settles. Emotions arise and pass without becoming permanent burdens. Thoughts come and go without hardening into fixed identities. This movement prevents accumulation. The body mirrors this flow through ease and flexibility. Lightness within creates softness without. Time moves through such a body gently, leaving fewer marks. Inner heaviness often comes from resistance to life as it unfolds. Fighting what has already happened creates tension that never resolves. Acceptance dissolves this tension naturally. When acceptance is present, the soul does not cling to what cannot be changed. Letting go lightens the inner load. The body responds by relaxing its defenses. Aging softens as resistance fades. The soul becomes heavy when identity becomes rigid. Holding tightly to who you think you must be requires constant effort. This effort drains energy and creates stress. A flexible sense of self allows growth without strain. When identity loosens, the inner world breathes. The body benefits from this freedom. Youthfulness expresses itself as adaptability rather than rigidity. Fear contributes greatly to inner heaviness. Fear keeps awareness contracted and vigilant. A contracted inner state forces the body into constant alert. Over time, this alertness exhausts the system. When fear loosens its grip, the soul feels lighter. The body no longer needs to guard itself constantly. Energy returns to living rather than surviving. Grief that is honored becomes lighter, but grief that is suppressed becomes weight. Suppressed grief sinks into the body as fatigue and dullness. When grief is allowed to be felt, it completes its movement. Completion restores lightness. The body releases what it no longer needs to hold. Aging becomes less burdened when emotions are allowed their natural cycle. Joy plays a powerful role in preventing inner heaviness. Joy lifts awareness naturally. It loosens tight emotional patterns without effort. When joy is present, even briefly, the soul remembers lightness. This memory influences the body deeply. Vitality increases, and expression softens. Youthfulness returns as a reflection of this uplifted state. Curiosity also lightens the soul by keeping perception open. A curious mind does not cling to fixed meanings. It remains flexible and receptive. Flexibility prevents emotional stagnation. The body mirrors this openness through fluid movement and relaxed posture. Inner curiosity keeps life from becoming heavy and repetitive. Freshness emerges naturally. Inner heaviness often comes from carrying what does not belong to you. Expectations, comparisons, and inherited beliefs weigh on the soul. Releasing these weights restores clarity. When the soul stops carrying unnecessary burdens, the body feels relief. Relief allows healing. Healing preserves vitality. Youthfulness reflects this unburdening. When the soul is light, rest becomes deeper. The body is able to recover fully. Sleep restores rather than merely pauses exhaustion. Deep rest repairs systems that shallow rest cannot reach. Over time, this difference becomes visible. A well-rested body ages differently. Time feels less demanding when rest is complete. Lightness within also improves movement. The body moves without hesitation or fear. Movement becomes expressive rather than cautious. This expressiveness keeps joints and muscles alive. Stagnation accelerates aging. Flow preserves vitality. The body reflects the soul's willingness to move freely. Inner heaviness narrows attention and drains meaning from experience. Life feels repetitive and dull. This dullness weighs on the body subtly but persistently. When the soul remains light, meaning stays accessible. Moments feel alive rather than endured. This aliveness nourishes the body. Youthfulness is sustained through engagement. A light soul does not deny difficulty, but it does not store it unnecessarily. Challenges are met and then released. The past is acknowledged without being carried forward. The future is approached without panic. This balanced relationship with time preserves energy. The body benefits from this balance profoundly. Over years, the difference becomes clear. Those who carry heavy inner burdens age under their weight. Those who release, forgive, and remain open age with greater ease. Time touches everyone, but it does not touch everyone the same way. The soul determines how time is received. Lightness softens its impact. True youth is not about resisting age, but about releasing weight. When the soul remains light, the body is not forced to carry unnecessary burdens. Time passes, but it does not wound. Aging becomes a gentle transition rather than a harsh decline. Youthfulness endures as the natural expression of inner lightness. As this reflection comes to an end, remember that youth is not something time takes away, but something the inner world either protects or burdens. The years will move forward no matter what, yet how they move through you depends on the weight you choose to carry within. When awareness remains present, emotions are allowed to pass, and the soul stays light. The body follows with ease and vitality. Let this understanding remind you that caring for the inner life is not separate from caring for the outer one, and that true youth is revealed not by fighting time, but by living with openness, balance, and trust as each moment unfolds.